Hello, sports fans, and welcome back to the NRL SuperCoach BDE podcast. Chris back in the host chair, trying to do justice to the hosting spot after Todd's work last week. Bloody carried the team, he did, the big fella. Over to you, Mr. Todd. How are you, good sir?
Yes, mate, I am doing very well. Thank you for asking. Good to finally have a host back in the chair. I'm no longer bloody sweating bullets, so it's good to have you back, mate. And it's good to see you in that nice red and black shirt, mate. Just come from the farm.
Look, I don't mind a good flanny when I don't feel like going full send on a jumper. So part of the rotation, I think, mate, I reckon I'm bringing some Jaxie to the channel just like you, old son. Trying to follow in your footsteps in more ways than one.
All you, mate.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Simo, as always, the bronze bomber. Bit tough to say bronze in winter, though, old son. It's bloody cold.
It is bloody cold out there. It is. You can tell by my voice there. Well, weather's starting to get the better of me up here in Brizzy. A bit of rain around, so yeah, sort of got rained on a bit yesterday. So yeah, struggling a bit with the voice today. But mate, just to go back to that flano, you know when they brought out the league flanos, you could buy looks like you got the Knights one on. It's sort of true to form. It looks all right.
Thank you, mate. That was. I'm gonna pretend like that was the effort and the vibe. It actually just happened to be the only thing I could find in my wardrobe that was a bit warm. But thank you.
It's hit the mark, that's for sure.
Appreciate, mate. Appreciate. All right, so I am just going to bring up the Listener League, actually, to start, because we might need to give a little bit of an update, gentlemen. So I'm just going to bring that up now on the screen. Let me do my typical moving around of where we're sitting. I'll eventually get it right. Don't you worry about that. We'll move us around for a while. It seems to have moved on the olds. That'll do for now. Right. Gentlemen, the Listener League. Also, that was a low-key flex because I'm absolutely crushing it in Classic. In case the listeners want a bit of advice.
I was going to say, you've left that up there for longer than it should have.
I really should have, mate. It feels good. 146 overall out of 175,000. Thank you for no one asking, but it felt good, man. Right. Moving on to the Listener League, just to make sure we have got it. I would like if it would show the matches that actually count. Here we go. So, gentlemen, last week just gone, we had first place Bearded Broncos took on the mighty Munsters Inc. for a shot straight through to a GF. We had Bearded Broncos, good solid victory here, 848 versus 762, has really set up a chance of a finals win, I think, is the hot prediction. But I guess hot on the trails is don't go chasing Kurt Falls, who knocked me out last week. They beat your man Adolf Fittler, 864 to 771. So it'll be, if I've read this correctly, let's have a look. Just remembering how this actually works, gentlemen. We'll get there. No, I thought this would take, here we are, final series. This is what we want. So we have Bearded Broncos straight through to a GF, well earned. Munsters Inc. versus Don't Go Chasing Kurt Falls for a shot in the final. So hotly contested this year, gentlemen, and thank you for all who participated. Get them, Kurt Falls. Love the name, mate. Try and have a run at a final. That's what I say. All right, beautiful. We've got that out of the way. Now, if you'll let me do some adjustments, we'll run through the team list for the week. Dom, welcome, good sir. Evening, lads, says Dom. Good to have you, mate. Gentlemen, we're at that hardcore stage of the year where the listeners that we likely got remaining are those that have had the W's in their leagues. Surprised we're not at 100%, gentlemen, if they followed our advice. Let's be real.
Very surprised, mate. Especially if you followed my amazing advice. Didn't even make finals of my own home league. So, yeah.
Mate, look, sometimes this position is thrown about with some negativity, and I, for one, won't have it. But personality hires are a big part of any workplace culture, mate. So thank you for what you've done this year.
Yeah, I'll try and find one of those in the off season.
Quality for you.
The Jared Sutton of the podcast, I'll tell you.
Oh, see, Simo, I'm glad you bring up Jerry Sutton. I think he's gone from the worst to at least not the worst this year. I swear he's making better live calls than most.
You're kidding yourself. He missed the forward pass that Lindsay Smith threw last week.
Gorgeous.
The guy was running the same direction as him.
I stick with what I'm saying. That's still better somehow than 90% of the other refs at the moment who are just diabolical. But anyway,
Mate,
I digress.
I will not have that. Jared
Yeah,
Sutton, tell you what.
All right. Jumping into the Thursday night game, gentlemen, we'll get straight into it. Storm v Panthers. Pre-season, you'd have thought this was a barnstorm, potentially playing off for a minor premiership or at least top 4. As it stands, it's a bit of a dead rubber for the Storm, but all of a sudden here, Simo, hugely important game for the Penny Panthers, who've actually lost their grip on the minor premiership.
They have big time. They have. Credit to the Storm for bringing back Munster last week, but Harry Grant this week.
Amazing.
They've got no reason to bring those boys back. And
no.
I don't know, it's the kind of shithousery I'm all about. You're Melbourne, this is your big rival over the last couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
Let's face it, Panthers have been everyone's rival over the last couple of years. But especially the Storm. So, there's got to be some part of Craig Bellamy, and it's clear in this team list that he's pretty keen on bringing these boys back to try and spoil the party for the Panthers, and I'm all about that.
Yeah, I agree, mate. I think it's exciting, and it's, if you've got Munster, you're going to fire him up. If you've got Grant, you're going to fire him up for obvious reasons. So no genius there. Nervous about playing what should be a fired-up Penrith Panthers unit here, though. I'll stick with you, mate. I'm not a Jack Howarth fan, as I've said all year, so nothing really to see there. They do play the Broncos in round 26, so if you're already through to a final, maybe there's a bit of a world where Moses Leo is relevant. You just don't want to play him this week.
Yeah, that's a perfect analysis, really.
Thanks.
So there's a few questions on Munster later on, I think, as well.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he's not. Munster's definitely not a must start, but it's 5'8". It depends who your options are going to be. He should be better for the run last week, hopefully. So yeah, I guess if you got Munster questions, just fire them in the chat, and we'll get to them when we can.
Yeah, I think, Simo, the interesting one to that is 5'8" and hooker being so shallow. I mean, are you picking up a Cody Nikorima off waivers who likely would have been dropped only to score a big score last week? Is it that? I couldn't do it personally. I'd rather just start money. But we'll see.
Yeah. It's a final. It's you got to go with what what ship you want to go down on there.
So Trent Tolau here, Todzer hangs on to the spot in the team over Hayden Watson. I thought at least a decent look, fairly impressive. If you were desperate, mate, I think the Pennies matchup means you shouldn't be relying there, should you?
Not at all.
Would it be Clifford on bye this week would be the only one that possibly needs to be covered?
Yeah, I guess so. Clifford. Luke Metcalf owners.
Adam Dewey.
Yes, there's a few.
Jerome Hughes.
People play Adam Reynolds are definitely not in finals.
No.
Jerome Hughes. Yeah, a few. Trent Tolau is probably not my guy, though, especially in this matchup against Penrith.
Right, so I'll set that task for both here. 5'8", if we can find anyone else better than money, if you're the money owner, but probably more relevant, all those halfbacks that are out, maybe Trent Tolau's got to be in the mix. That is a scary thing to be facing in a final. You'd be thinking AE there if you could, surely.
Grim.
It is grim. Sean Bloor is in, fresh off his signing to the Broncos, Tots. First off, I was talking to some Broncos fans when I was at the Wars game on the weekend, and it's funny, there's a unanimous feeling about that signing to the Bronx. Is it that exciting? No. Is he all that great a player? Certainly for 80 minutes? No. But is he better than what the Bronx have now on one of the flanks? Yes, 100%. They don't have another back row. They've got one in Jordan Ricky. So it's actually not...
Do you think the difference between Sean Bloor and Piakura is that great? I think they're both the same, dude.
I'm not convinced you can rely on Piakura
career-wise. I don't rely on Sean Bloor either. He plays about 6 games a year.
A body that can play 60 minutes at least somewhat consistently, I'd prefer. I mean, I'm not saying Piakura doesn't have the talent, but the concussion history, the in-game risk.
Sean Bloor set up 2.5 years, mate. We've seen him play 6 games in 3 years.
the dropping of the ball. So I'm not. Look, I'm just going by. If you seem to have a stronger opinion, I think it is.
I just think like super sideways. I don't think he's that much better than Theokura to make a huge difference in what they're doing.
Yeah, I think they've gone light. In other words, I think he's a value signing as well. I can't imagine it's a big deal. So it's one of those salary cap, he's okay type of players. But yeah, that's enough time on him. There's some really good questions in the chat, so I'm just going to throw to them now around this game. Our man, Lukos Mentos, welcome back, good sir. Hey, lads, he says, start Grant or Sandon? I absolutely love that question this week, and I don't think it's as straightforward as you would always think. So, gentlemen, I'll go. Todd, I'll stick with you for this one first, mate. I know on paper that looks really easy, but I absolutely understand the question.
In this week, Harry Grant. Still start Harry Grant. What are we talking about?
Not spinning, just the goal kicking. Pardon my ignorance here, but the matchup for the Knights is really good as well.
Good. Eels, I think it is. Manly.
I'm Simo. I'm trying to. I don't have a Knights bias anyway when I super coach, but mate, this is close for me. Can you get it to Sandon, or you just think you're sticking with Harry Grant?
It's pretty bloody close, but I'm still starting Grant.
I'm going to do that qualified, not on the fence, but very specifically. If you need to chase upside all across your team, go Sandon. If you just want the floor argument, jump in Harry Grant. That's what I would say.
Sandon versus money is a lot different for me.
Say that again, mate. Sandon versus money.
Versus money at the 5.
That's a good one. That's a really good question, Tots. Are you Sandoning there?
Yeah. You start money. Give me money. Money's every chance of going plus like over 60. Sanders has scored over 60 the last 4 weeks.
Look, it's a cool argument. Again, if you're chasing upside, Sandon's a red hot chance of a try assist or 2 against Parra plus the goal kicking. So I get it. For the record, Lucas, it's we're a don't sit your studs type of playoff person. Yeah. So I don't want to take you down the Sandon direction. I think all 3 of us are reluctantly saying Grant. Slim Cognitus, welcome back, mate. Got 3 Panthers already. Do I start McLean?
Yes.
I think Casey McLean's got to be starting this matchup, gentlemen, right? I know he's just come back from injury, and he looked dusty when he played the last game, to be fair, but he's in, right?
Nick Meaney is someone you want to be up against.
Beautifully said. That's as far as that analysis needs to go. The arm grabber extraordinaire. Enjoy that next year, Perth Bears, I say. Evening, gents, also from Slim Cognitus. Quality questions around this game. All right, gentlemen. Isaac Tungo, I'm probably the worst to give advice. The matchup is good. I'm also not a massive fan of Jack House defensively, laterally. So is Tungo the man to exploit it, Simo? I can't go there, but you might be able to.
Oh, you could as a 4 CT dub. I think he's actually been pulling his finger out base-wise of late. So if you're looking for that sort of base-heavy CTW, you could. I mean, first game of the round, you're not really sure where your matchup's at is the only thing. So you got to make that decision straight away. For me, he's not going to put me over the top to the point where I'd play someone early in the round and not know what I'd want or look for. I'd rather just forego Tungo and start someone in the other games when I sort of decide if I need safety or a bit of upside.
Beautiful. Nice. Well said. Agreed. Freddie Lussick can be started in a pinch with the continued absence of Kenny. Didn't have his best game last week, but there's a chance this one goes okay. So decent enough if you have to start a bottom of the 10 hooker option. Hopefully you got on Liam Henry, listeners. He's just a bloody good player, so you can absolutely plug a spot in either FRF or 2RF and get you a pretty high floor. Liam Martin, Todger, I don't want to bring him up every week, but he's been really hard to time. In a final, he's a hard trust, but the matchup is – you feel like Penrith with Dylan Edwards back, mate. It could go very well for them this week.
Yeah, I just also think with Liam Martin, they want the experience on there without Isaiah Yeo. So I think he plays 80 like we saw last week.
So you have him as a third 2RF this week?
Yeah, I'd be happy enough to start him this week.
Yeah, I'm with you, mate. I normally am not that keen, but I can see the argument, despite a scary bench for an edge-back role, to be fair. All right. Little teaser Blaze Talangi last week that ended up not being. So he even got, I think Jack Cole came in ahead of him from memory. So not looking good for one Blaze Talangi. All right, gentlemen, the one you've all waited for, the Friday night 6 p.m. game, the Raiders versus the Bronx. Not going to get pulses racing here, you wouldn't think. Most improved player, or at least winger in the NRL in the last few weeks, Jed Stewart, has actually, real life, he's been all right. I want to give him some kudos because we were a bit ripped on him a little bit about 6 or so weeks ago. He's actually been pretty decent. Gentlemen, I bring up the back line for the Raiders because there is an absolute goldmine here against an absolutely awful Broncos team. Like last week, I was there watching them get pumped with the supposed stars. This is a shocking team. They have no line speed. They have already gone on holidays. They've given up on the season. Can you frame me an argument here? Obviously, Sasangi and Timoko are pure high-end green light starts, Simo. Can you get behind a Jed or a Savage knowing one or both of them are going to score at least a try?
Yeah, you're right. They're guaranteed to try at least one of them. The problem is who you start is probably going to be the one that doesn't.
Yeah, it's true.
One of those things. I mean, I kind of am a bit like you here. I probably would green light all Raiders, to be honest. But, yeah, I'm just a bit wary of those two wingers because like they probably need to get at least to try to be relevant. Probably 2 tries to get you a really good score.
Yeah,
like they can score a try and still score sub 50. So,
yeah.
Depends on what you got, but I mean the matchup's good, so you can fire them up if you really need to.
Yeah, so more the 12 and 14 teamers plus Simo. They're probably pretty juicy this week. I like the play. Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
10 team, you probably got other options. This is a week we mentioned about halfbacks, and I know that last week the gentleman spoke. There wasn't enough platoons mentioned, so I just thought I'd quickly get us off to a start.
If it was good.
Yeah, well, it's right back, baby. I like the commentary here from Dom. Raiders turning up for Papali'i last home game. I think you are absolutely right. It is a terrible time to be a Broncos fan. Ethan Sanders is very close to a must start this week, gentlemen. So I know that there are some gun halfbacks. You'd want to have that first halfback as a very high-end player to not start Ethan Sanders this week. I also think Ethan, in terms of AE options, has to be way up the chain.
Yeah, that's fair.
Ethan.
I could go back to the Ethan well, but I like to save that for Mr. Bullymore, mate. We can.
Yeah, he has earned it, I must say.
He's the original. Matty Nicholson with the injury to the absolute Perth Bears stalwart that is Morgan Smithies. Wow, just what a signing. Matty Nicholson, he'll have 80 minutes again on an edge here. Todza won't play next round, but holy shit, if you just want to try and lock in a win this week, if he's out there, I think he's a good thing here.
Oh, yeah, definitely. He scored close to a 60 last week, I think it was, in 80 minutes. Pretty solid. Yeah, 58.
Yeah.
There you go. Really solid choice.
Upside to be had. He's way up there on the list for me in your must-wins. Just, again, keep into account you definitely don't have him next week. So, Corey Horsburgh back on the bench. Wow. What a strange finish to a career at the Raiders, it would seem. I don't know if he's actually signed.
That big puppy plays, right?
Yeah, I think it's just it's an odd one. Even like Simi Sasangi, gentlemen, I should mention, coming in just to play this big puppy game. Oh, that's a nervous watch if you're an owner as well. You're going to fire him up and hope for the best, but gee whiz, could be nasty.
Not much you can do about it because he's as much chance of 120 as he is of getting hurt.
So is he one that you would try and use an AE strategy for early enough in the round, see if he posts and then see how you go? Is he one of them just because of the injury so high? Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, definitely.
Nice. All right. I'll be honest, gentlemen, I'm not going to sit here and do too much with the Bronx. Like, start at your own peril. You could absolutely jag something here, but can either of you make an argument around starting any. Like Willison, yes, you're definitely starting Willison and Haas and Carrigan.
Yeah,
That's it.
that'll be it.
That's it. You just can't risk anything. Ricky, if you need a flourish argument, but even there, I'm not too enthused. Man Stanger is back, hello, good sir. Fiketti or Nicholson for 2RF3? Nicholson. It's interesting. Fiketti has got the Tigers just with Teddy back, so it is pretty juicy. If your question is if Fiketti is out there, I would have Fiketti because you get him for the 2 weeks and it's a bit of a coin flip. But if you just need the third 2RF for this week, it's got to be Nicholson, gentlemen. Agreed?
I'm with Nicholson, yeah.
Yeah. Great question. Both are pretty awesome options this week, to be fair. All right. Moving on down. Dolphins v. the Eels. The cracking games just keep on flowing in the NRL at this stage of the year. Look, if you're an Osaka owner, there's a red-hot chance you had a good week last week and you're still in or you're already in a prelim final. Herbie has let down his owners up until surely this week. Surely he is the reason you're slapping a C or a VC on him in leagues that run captains. It's got to be this week. For that reason, I think it is green light central on – I'm just trying to think of which Dolphin I wouldn't start. Even Tommy Gilbert. Morgan Knowles, there you go. It's gone well for Maxi Plath. Gilbert's even starting, so if you're in a pinch, like whatever, I'm not excited about it, but it's something. That's about it. It's just green light city. Cody Nikorima has to be discussed, Simo. He has been absolute dog shit for the last 4 weeks, up until last week, where in a game where the Finns struggled to score points, he was the shining light. Go figure.
Yeah, I reckon you just go back to the well and Cody. Like it's a ballsy play because it's a final. It's elimination if you're still around. So it's not without its risks. I just reckon the matchup's just too good. Like he has to be a part of this, I'd imagine.
Yeah. As you said, Simo, would I say that's one of the bravest starts given his in-game injury risk as well? Holy crap, that's – whew. But if you are chasing upside, he's probably as close to as good as it gets, right?
Yeah, I think so. Like he's like I said, he's going to catch a bit of attack in this for sure.
We've got a Korean celebrity in here who claims he's never posted before. I believe that is dishonest, sir. So I don't take well to that sort of caper. But he says he's out of his league, so doesn't want to watch any games. So he's looking for something to do in the Brisbane area instead. See a comedy show, and he recommends. There is a fine comedian out of New Zealand that I've helped coach and mentor up to a standard. One Tsiodmian himself, so probably give him a listen, Korean celebrity.
Yeah, do that.
Lockie Hughes, good to see you, mate. Hey, lads, thank you for the year. The Jenkins, Herbie, Lukey, Metcalf, Walsh week. Oh, my God. It wasn't quite what I needed in the semis, but that's why we love SuperCoach, right? Oh, mate.
Joey Walsh, rest in peace. R.I.P. Joey Walsh.
That's that's
Joey Walsh. That's rough.
That's pretty rough. That's rough.
Yeah.
That happens no matter. And that's what we can do in this game of fantasy sports. You diehards, you put your best effort out, and sometimes Lady Luck is not on your side. So shout out to those who had Walsh was a killer this week. There's a few in there that really stuffed some teams. So rough times. Big Kiwi Nick is all he says in the chat is yes. I reckon that guy is going places under your guidance, Redford. Thank you. Lucas Mentos, fellas, VCC combo out of Herbie, Hines, and Teddy. We'll go there now because of the feelings on Herbie. I'll go to you first, Simo.
Interesting. Who do the Sharks have?
They've got the Gold Coast, mate. So I don't think we can avoid It's GC, but without Trindle. Oh, gee whiz, it did not look all that good.
Oh, you still have to do something with Hines, though, don't you? I mean, I think the safest play, because the Roosters, last game of the round, second last game of the round?
Against the Tigers.
Yeah. So if you're going to do Teddy, obviously I guess the big thing is, if you get whoever your VC out of Herbie and Hines, if you do go Teddy captain, can you still loop? Because obviously the Sharks game's a bit later, but just on pure sentiments, I reckon you can't make a bad call here. Jesus, a good question. I'd probably go Herbie's due. I'll probably go VC Herbie.
Yep, agreed.
Captain.
It's Teddy. Yeah, I'm going to jump in. I don't know how you couldn't put the C on Teddy against the Tigers. That's wild.
Gold Coast, though. Far out.
It's just the Hines spot is just sus. And Lucas, well, he'd be leaving Fekete out with the loop. So the loop would want to be pretty good because the upside on Fekete this week, I think, is very high also. Like, how big does the loop have to be on either Herbie or Hines for you to not want to captain Teddy against the Tigers? It's got to be pretty big.
Yeah. I'm just a bit wary. Like, he's coming off the injury. There's anything like
that is true.
If they get the game in hand, do they get Cody Ramsey on for a period of time?
Probably, but you hope that he's already on 105 plus like he was at halftime.
Yeah.
Against the Cowboys. But it's a good point.
But if he does that, then you would have made the wrong decision of not looping.
It's just, for me, Simo, there's just a lack of confidence. Like, if it was the normal Sharks operation with Trindle there, this wouldn't even be a question. You'd have to have Hines involved in one of the two options. You probably would forego Herbie, but it's just a little worrying. It just feels like his ceiling might be capped a little bit. That's all.
Maybe. It's only such a small sample size, though. Like,
yeah, that's true.
We talk a lot about halfbacks when they get the whole show, like Sanders does, and every kick and everything's coming through him. Like, the Sharks did it for a game on the run, and it looked like shit. But, like, it wouldn't shock me if it turned around this week and Hines gets all the ball against the Gold Coast and we just go, holy shit, like, he just did everything.
Yeah, it's a good argument. It is. So you think, like, I guess the way to look at it is, do you think, what are the odds of Herbie? Herbie needs, 2 tries to hit 130? Probably.
Oh, honestly...
He's not offloading all that much at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, Hines VC Teddy captain's pretty cool
pretty
too.
Juicy. I actually think you've put me into it, Simo. I think I'm ready to let Herbie can still score a big score and be good for your team, but I think his ceiling has been capped of late. I think you didn't VC and see Teddy there, wouldn't you?
He's in such a rare position, Lucas Mentos, where his bar for what is required from a VC in this particular round is so massive.
It's enormous.
Like, Hines and Teddy just have, like, that. I mean, Herbie's got a great ceiling too, but I just don't see him hitting it as regularly as those other two guys can hit. Like, I'm talking 140 plus, like not 130 plus.
No.
We saw Nico bust out of 190. Yeah, I mean, that's a very good question, a good problem to have. I will say that.
All right, Hines, Teddy, let's go. All right, so in terms of the rest of it, Maxi Plath would already be owned, so that hasn't really helped you, but unlucky to Lemuelu listeners as well. That's gone very poorly. He's had a really good season and was a fantastic draft pick, so well done to those who got on early, but unlucky. Should be relatively open, and I actually think Parramatta have really opened things up, Todzer. I actually think it's fun to watch finally. They've realised they're not trying to win a grand final like the Sharks in, was it 06, where they just grinded their way to a win sort of thing. They've actually, 16, I think, I got my years wrong, but I don't know. It makes it somewhat interesting. Like, Brian Kelly, I think he can absolutely start here. He was great again last week. I think this Dolphins unit aren't that good defensively, so...
Yeah, fair enough. I personally wouldn't be firing up Brian Kelly in a final. That's just me.
Really? See, I don't know, man. I think he's got the floor argument as well. That's an interesting one from you. He's got like the base.
Not
No
my
good?
kind of guy. No, not for me personally. But
Yeah, okay. All right. Moses has been good lately as well, like genuinely SuperCoach-wise, goal kicking decently again. Again, I see points here, and I think that's an interesting one because Moses probably still has been slept on in a lot of leagues, Todzer, especially 10-teamers. Could you trust him here?
he's been really good. To be fair, he has been really, really good. I think with like the ones we were mentioning before, like Jake Clifford out, you might have to look for a Mitch Moses kind of thing. So I'd be happy enough to give Mitchell Moses a go. Obviously, he does have those low 40s in him, so that's one to look out for. But I mean, in this matchup, there's every chance of not hurting you anyway.
That's what I think too. I think it's an okay start. Talon De Silva has annoyingly been relevant of late. Now, Simo, we aren't a big fan of him in real life, Talon, but he has a
You're
knack
not. I don't mind him. I actually
You're
don't mind
around
him.
it? All right, well,
I've never said a bad word about Talon De Silva.
marry up those luscious brows with some SuperCoach output, mate. Could you trust him in a final? He has found upside of late, like quite consistently. You'll be out there. He'll be staring at people with a 90-odd score again, which he's had a few of now. Mate, if he plays big minutes again here, he's going to try and plunge over the line and frustrate Mitch Moses. Can he get around it?
I could. I definitely could. Like you said, Freddie Lussick earlier. I'd go him over Freddie Lussick, for example.
Yep.
Yeah. It's an upside play. He's got a lot of downside because if he doesn't do it, if he hits no attack, then he's going to score really badly. But yeah, it's the matchup's there for him. I reckon he's a chance of doing something.
Okay, I like it. And last but not least, we need to acknowledge the absolute behemoth, Junior Barlow, the best halfback that's ever played the game. 35-meter spiral pass on the chest is one of the prettiest things I've seen in rugby league. Todzer, like, if that warmed the cockles of your heart, mate.
Takes me back to my days, mate, throwing massive cutout balls, obviously. No, hell of a pill. No, goodbye, Big Junes.
He's starting this week, right? So is there enough here? Take away the try assist. He didn't score very well last week. But Big Junior, if he's in the mood, could this be one of those famous offload weeks from the big dog as they just spin the ball around? I've got a weird feeling he's going to come into late season relevance yet again, as he's done pretty much every year of his career in SuperCoach. Can you get around it, FRF2 with a bit upside?
Sorry, did he get the try assist for that pass?
I believe so. Yeah.
Because it wasn't the last pass, was it?
Yeah, it was. I thought he wasn't it.
Oh, there was.
He stepped inside and scored. I don't want to say I'm married to that idea because I was just mesmerized by the pass.
Yeah, you might be right. I think you're right, actually. Because
Zero try assist.
He didn't get it, Todd. So there was another pass. My apologies. So I stuffed that up. But so that means
try contribution, but he didn't get try assist.
Okay, so that's more like
how the scoring has changed, hey? My days.
Now that's not the main part of the play to result in assist anyway. That's where we're at now, and we've put that to bed, Simo. But give me some love, mate. Junior Barlow has been used by us for years in upside sort of offloady games. Can he get around it, or is he just the stage of his career where it's too risky?
No, don't do it. Coming off injury, he just doesn't offload like he used to.
Yeah, that's fair.
Good on him for the pass, but yeah, not for me.
That is fair. I was just checking the bench here. Yeah, okay. All good. I was checking the Dolphins bench. Nothing to see there. All right, over to my Knights, who are absolutely flying at the moment. Simo, very surprised to see Bradman Best. There was some communication he was going to be a few weeks out. Very, very risky start, but it's such a good matchup here. Like, Jesus, some risky. He's another one. Like, I understand you're probably not going to bench him, but if you had 4 other really good options, you probably could find a way, right?
Yeah, you probably could, but I mean, they won't be pretty good. It's still Bradman Best in this Knights team. Like they're scoring points.
So good. Question from Stanger here, and it is relevant to this game. CT Dub replacement for Alamotti this week, plus next. Gross pickings, but leaning towards Fletcher Hunt, as I also lost Reese Walsh. Hunt, Tango, B. Kelly, Jerry. Oh, wow. Otherwise, rattle off others and I'll check waivers. I've got B. Kelly out of those for the next 2-week games myself. Fletcher Hunt we're away to New Zealand in round 26, which is not an ideal matchup whatsoever. So Fletcher this week I can get around, but I think on the balance of things for me, gentlemen, I like Kelly.
Yeah, I would go Kelly, Tungo, and then who cares about the other two?
Yeah.
Kelly,
And if you
Kelly's next week versus the Sharks.
say again, mate.
Kelly's next week versus the Sharks.
Yeah, I think it's again the floor. The floor worries me. The Tungo and Hunt floor in next week's matchups, Todzer. It's close. It's closer next week. I'll give you that. Hunt this week, I don't mind the shout though. If you really just want one and then you play another the next week, don't mind that play. Jerry plays Panthers in round 26. You do not want that. Cooler versus Hunt in CT Dub. Cooler's been very good defensively. His Manly team refused to give him the ball in space, which is just absolutely ridiculous in terms of coaching. I don't know what they're doing there.
He's not fast enough, mate.
It is, Todzer, it is absolutely absurd the lack of ball that man gets in space. They go short to the back rowers, and speaking of, you get on Burbo the way they're playing at the moment. My goodness. They just go short every single time, and it does not work. It does not.
Burbo. Get on Burbo. Burbo signing. Get on him. They
Get
scored
on
0 points last week. The mighty season. Get on Burbo.
Lock it in. Thanks for the great season, fellas. Thank you, mate. Appreciate you and your support all season. And our mighty listeners. It's been awesome. So just checking in there. So we've had a bit of a commentary around Fletcher Hunt. Geez, boys, Fletcher Sharp in full flight is just, that is just good to watch. In terms of the rest of it, Tyson Frizzell is starting in the edge back row. Not really what we wanted to see, is it? In terms of if Thomas Kent could have had an 80-minute role while Francis is out for a week, the revelation that is Francis. I can't get behind Tyson Frizzell, gentlemen. Not in the edge back row.
Absolutely not.
Edges.
That's a comment. Snip that. Can't get around Tyson Frizzell in his 301st game of first grade.
That is the level of expertise that the listeners count on, Sumo. Thank you, mate.
That's why they're here. It's still going in their leagues.
Would you, surely Kent comes in here, right? What a fall from grace that he's not even with this many injuries, he's not the guy. That's mind-blowing to me.
To be fair, when he has come on and played edge, he hasn't been that great. So
I agree. He's lost a bit of zip. So,
yeah,
I don't know.
Very, meat and potato plotterish, if you ask me. But
he appears,
that might be because he's been playing through the middle so much,
They will likely keep things as is, but you'd love McEwen to switch over to the left for this one game. If you somehow saw them lining up like that, start McEwen. I would love him on the left. Is what it is, though. Tommy Turbo is back, gentlemen. Now, you want to talk about those absolute clench the butt cheek starts. Good luck to you. You're going to do it. I probably wouldn't even recommend watching the game, to be honest. Just hope that you look at the end and he's got your 80 plus. Is that the advice? You're just going to blindly just do it?
Just confirming, Manly would need to win 2 on the trot, and then Cowboys and Bulldogs to lose 2 on the trot to make it. What are they bringing Tommy Turbo back for?
I don't think can they still make it? Are they still mathematically with the points for? I'd have thought they'd have been dead in the water with points for. I could be wrong though.
There's like a 9-point difference between points 4 and.
No, Manly are smashing those other two teams because Manly are plus 46.
Yeah, plus 46.
Oh shit! Okay,
yeah.
So they
Cowboys and Canterbury are both negative 62 and 78 respectively.
Yeah,
and Cowboys are in what position are they? They're in 8th.
They're in 8th with the Dogs at 9.
Okay, so theoretically they can still sneak in with a.
But say he gets through this game, they lose this game. Do they play in the final game of the season, even though they can't make it?
Given that Walsh is now out and they've run out of halves and Falolo's playing as a 6, it's an absolute shambles here.
Well, the Cowboys have the bye this week, don't they? So
they do.
So they get 2 points.
So after this week, the Cowboys will be on 30 with a negative 78.
Yep.
And assuming Manly win this week, they'll be 26 and say they win by 4, they'll be plus 50. So they'll have Cowboys on points for by a country, but they'll be 4 points away with only 2 games to play. So they need the Cowboys to lose out.
Yeah. Cowboys draw is pretty decent. So, but
that's not even factoring in what Canterbury do or don't do.
Yeah, exactly.
It's crazy to me to risk Tommy Turbo like that.
It is strange, but he's there. So, gentlemen, for SuperCoach purposes, would you fire him up? Would you have the balls?
Oh, bro. I mean, I think if you got through to a semi-final or a final this week, and you've got Tommy Turbo on your team, you've got probably a decent enough starter behind him.
That's what I think too.
I could not be firing him up this week. It would kill me if that's the reason I lose it. But far, man, he's so risky.
And that's the thing, Todd's this is again not speaking homerish hat. Like I'd say the Knights have one of the better defenses in the league over the last 6 weeks. We're tackling our rear out here, and we've got Jacob Saifidi comes back to bolster our middle. Like I genuinely think that even if he stays fit full 80 minutes, is he guaranteed 75 plus? I'm not absolutely convinced. Here's a good example of this. Slim Cog Nidus says, I've got Turbo and Weeks can get Turbo AE. Yeah, I don't mind that, whatever. Like the AE version is probably going to be better than your starter, I guess, like the risk. But you're starting Weeks. I think you're starting Weeks in that matchup.
Oh, against Brisbane, yeah. We're all about that.
You kind of have to, don't you?
Did you fire up Turbo this week, Simo?
Of course I would.
He would. I didn't even need to ask him, Tots.
Listeners might not know, mate. Listeners might not know. We are a podcast.
He's a turbo truther from way back, Tots. Always has been. Helped him win one of his most dominant seasons, the 2019 Premiership for the Sim. Would you guys approve of blocking Timoko with number 1 waiver and settling for Fiketti, or waiver Wong and let opponent get Timoko? Good strategy being discussed here. Lock it in. Simo, what do you think?
I would let Timoko go.
Yep. Because
I know the matchup is great for Canberra. We've talked about that. But at the end of the day, he's still up against Stags. Yeah, and the allure of Siwa Wong, I think, is too good. So I would take Wong.
Yeah.
And I'll just ride my luck and hope Timoko doesn't have a day against Katoni. And I'd bank on that.
Yeah. I don't mind it. The boys, there's a lot of good theory here. I think the Timoko block is coming up plenty in the chat. I'm kind of with you, though, Simo. I like thinking about round 26 and just back myself to get the win. So I do like the idea of Siwa Wong if he's out there. I think that's a phenomenal pickup, floor and upside. Meso, good to see as always. Good, sir. Nothing wrong with playing a little defense at lock. I agree. Oh, boy. Would you bench Mars, Ronaldo, or McLean?
Ronaldo.
I'm actually I can't not start. I've got to. I'm going to go Ronaldo and Mars. I'm starting in that. I can't bench Mars against Manly. No way in a million years. With Best playing as well, so it's Adam McLean and Ronaldo for me. Simo, casting vote, mate. It's close. It's super.
Mate, I'm starting Ronaldo and McLean.
Mars you against Manly.
Yeah, I just reckon he's had a big week last week. I think he's due a down one. I'll back Manly to do something in a game they're going to be up and about for.
Wow, fair enough. Fair enough.
You're not sitting Ronaldo against those Titans.
You can't. Ronnie, yeah. That's interesting. So, Todza, I guess it's back to you for casting vote. Simo and I have kind of landed. Who did you like better out of Mars and McLean?
I like both of them, and I would sit Ronaldo.
We know
We've
you
established this.
We are so far from an echo chamber in this space. It's wonderful. None of us budged. None of us budged at all. Oh my god, that's you are most brilliant. Welcome, Lucas Mentos. Let us know how you go and good luck, mate. The thing is, you have 3 good options. I think McLean coming back from injury. I'm just going to throw that in there. It's it can be risky. Eggs 11 redo. Thank you, mate. Good to see you, lads. I have the week off and waltz into the GF next week. Yeah, baby. Who should I aim for to stash, waiver, and grab in the big dance if this week doesn't matter? I think in terms of gettable options, I mentioned Moses Leo, who does play against the Broncos in round 26. I think he is a decent upside play. Quickly ask either of you gentlemen, is there anyone this week who maybe not be that usable but is good for last? Todza, do you have any on your tongue, mate? Sorry,
I haven't thought of any off the top of my head, mate.
All good. Sim, anything from you?
Round 26, I'd be looking to target any of the sharks that you can jump on. So maybe like a Rotti, or even would look to stash Gabriel in case they give him a run. Obviously up against the Eels there. I reckon, if Manly lose this week, I feel like Failalo will probably play fullback the week after. So that's against the Dragons. So maybe Failalo, if he's out there. I think Moses Leo was a good shout by you, Redford.
Thanks,
since the Storm have got them. So, a few rabbits too. If you have a look at South, we haven't got there yet, but South have the Titans as well, so you can look at a few bunnies.
South v Titans is a really good one, Simo. I think if Campbell Graham's fit and out there, he's another risky start, but boy, is he an upside play in that round 26. Lockett is just giving some feedback. He's actually big on the Feketi over the Siwa Wong. Not a huge gap. I think it's just a better floor argument from Wong, mate. I don't think Feketi's work rate on the edge has been that spectacular. But, boy, I would find it hard not to want to start Feketi this week against the Tigers. Dolphins in round 26 for the Roosters, which is also pretty good. And you'd have to think, gentlemen, all this talk about any risk of players getting rested in round 26 even, which has happened last year. I think that's gone with all the drop-off of Penrith has meant all those teams are kind of boxed in now and playing for stuff. So that's probably gone well for us for SuperCoach-wise. Good luck. Lock it in. I love the strats, mate. That's good stuff. Good to see Lehigh Hopewadi back on a wing. Means he's absolutely playable. Going to Clayton Failolo, Simo, as an owner, mate, you're not firing him up this week in the 5'8" position, are you?
Well, if you're like me and you own Reece Walsh, then you're going to have to. So there's that.
Yeah. So if you're in trouble and there's no other, so you're talking about as a fullback start, there's probably not a lot else out there, is there?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's a CTW. No, thank you. But
no thanks. Exactly.
If you're looking at fullback, this might help a handful of people out there, but a lot of leagues out there, and this happened to me last week, was if you own Walsh and you're looking at the fullbacks on waivers, you got to understand that the week before Iongi went down, so there's a good chance, in our league, the Iongi owner went and picked up Connor Tracy and Tyrell Sloan. I think Gutho got picked up as well by someone else. And that was the week before. And now, obviously, Walsh has gone down, and all those guys are now owned. Obviously, some of those teams are now eliminated or whatever. But, you look at the free agent list out there, for all those Walsh owners, and you go, shit, there's Hayes Perham and nothing. So, for me, Failolo's a body with a pulse who's playing first grade and can be started at fullback, so you have to fire him up. But that's just it's a certain circumstance if you need him at that position.
And becomes a really good start in round 26, Simo, if Turbo in fact isn't playing that. And there is a chance of that. So I'm with you. I hear you for sure. All right. And Todza, your favorite player, Burbo is back, baby. He will be out on pretty much every waiver except our league, because obviously I'd never drop him. Legit question for an owner. It's a risky start with all the concussion history. The scoring's been phenomenal this year, but leap of faith to start him. If you had a choice between, say, Liam Martin or Burbo, where are you going?
Liam Martin.
Okay. Could you start him, Simo? It's risky stuff. He's been delivering all year, and they only go short to back rowers. That's all they do.
Oh, I'd start him over Liam Martin because I can't stand Liam Martin. Yeah.
Okay. Feketi versus Burbo, that's where we draw a line, right? Feketi against the Tigers is the start.
For sure.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Cool. Moving on down. Saturday game, 5:30, Bunnies versus the Wars. Tough week to start these Bunnies. You're going to start your studs. Matt Duffy was absolutely outstanding on the weekend, so good luck to the man. Cool story. You start your big studs in this, but your marginal players you're probably sitting. So, I wouldn't be starting Campbell Graham here. Brandon Smith's weirdly been somewhat relevant in the last couple of weeks, but still risky. Probably the one to mention here, gentlemen, is with Ewan Aiken back in the second row. The Adam Elliott experiment, you're due to yet another groin injury. Poor bugger. Is Ewan Aiken the sneaky pickup this week in the back row if you need a number? Todd, I'll go to you.
It's interesting, mate, because then if the theory is if Latrell comes back, he comes to the centres and Tallis probably moves back to the edge. So I think Ewan Aiken is definitely a play this week. Yeah, he's been pretty good the last couple of weeks, though.
Yeah, and that is it, mate. The Latrell Mitchell. So in leagues where he is not owned, I suppose, I guess that would exist out there. You pick him up and stash him and then hope if he plays around 26, you're going to be happy to risk him. Even though it is an incredibly risky start in a grand final, you're going to start him against, was it against Simo Para in 26? Is that right?
Gold Coast.
Gold Coast in 26. There you go. You're going to start him then. So absolutely you would. The Mighty Wars. Todd's I've said it a couple of times, mate. Leah Tower, he's just getting better. He's getting better and better. That little dummy, like pretending to basketball pass over the top dummy and go himself against the hapless Bronx, that's a bit of class, mate.
Yeah, it's good to see, man. I mean, we forget that the kid's only like 20 years of age. Like, just because he's the size of a bloody semi-truck doesn't mean that, anything really. He's, still going to grow into footy and help that transition from, juniors to big grades. So, getting better, and the Warriors thankful for it because he is a bit of a beast.
So, green light Dallin, green light Khan Pereira. I don't think South's defense is that much chop, so I'm happy with them at least as 4 CT dubs. Are we happy with Lecker at 2RF this week, Simo? I think he was an easy start last week personally and did pay off with a line break try near the end. Do you think he's got enough to trust him this week against South, mate?
Oh, yeah. A lot of people would say, it's up against Jack White and good defender. You could get away from him, but I think he's just been so hot the last couple of weeks. Like, you're probably going to go him as a number 3 at least.
Yep, fair, mate. I missed a comment from Meso just real quick. Is Nathan Brown start? Can we wind back that clock? Competition for middle minutes at Manly is piddling. It is terrible. They've got no one left. Meso has jumped in 56 minutes last week for 61. Yeah, baby, off the back fence. I'm not going to say no to you, Meso. Love the balls, mate. There is a good race.
Meso, that's terrible, mate.
Meso adds, Tuapiki is actually an answer above for eggs. Might be gettable on waivers here since he didn't start the last 2 weeks running. CNK out for 2 weeks. Meso, it's a good raise. Tuapiki is absolutely startable in this matchup easily. Gentlemen, in leagues where he's available, would he be the number 1 waiver given he has the eligibility to cover a couple of spots?
Oh, for me, he would be so far of tonight's teams, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Good shout, Meso. Good pickup, mate. Certainly not available in our league, but bloody hell, I'd love him to be. That'd be a good get. Luke Hanson, is he one of those halfback eligible options here, Tots, as the man who loves his Wars?
I don't think so. I think this might be a bit clunky for the Warriors this weekend, hey?
Yeah,
we've seen a little bit of Hanson. Some stages here we've seen him. Didn't do a whole lot, so it would be a guy I'd be looking to go towards, to be honest.
CHT has to be mentioned here in the 5-8 starts because he's been tough to trust, but he actually had a better week goal kicking than I think he's probably had. So does he maintain here firstly? And if he does, is he someone that you look really closely against, say, your Cam Munster we mentioned earlier? Simo, put him alongside Cody Nikorima for me. I think that's a better comparison.
I'd start Nikorima for sure this week up against the Eels. So for me, go Nico. Who was the other player you said? Was it Munster?
Yeah, just throw him in there just for a bit of a
look, I just don't have CHT in that tier playing halfback.
Yeah.
I reckon he loses that little bit of attack because he'll be one pass closer in. I just see a game manager style role from CHT. I just think he'll take over that, and I'm not big on his SuperCoach prospects because of it.
Good shout. Quick mention to a player that I'm really growing to enjoy. Todd, we've said it, Layban again, mate. I think he looks good. He looks really good.
Pretty good. Yeah.
He's coming on, the fella. All right. Saturday evening game is Dragons versus the Dogs. So here's yet another halfback option. Daniel Atkinson playing fullback for the Drags. I respect Dean Young. He's having a crack to see what he's got. Outside of – so Val Holmes is starting for you. Can you start Tyrell Sloan or Atkinson with confidence here, Simo? They've been okay. Well, Sloan's been okay. Atkinson at fullback, is there something there?
I mean, what Atkinson, 64 on the weekend, got a try assist there, so better 40-odd base. It's not too bad, actually. If you said a 40 base halfback 5'8", that, you know, obviously has a little bit of attacking upside being a fullback, it's fine. I think there'll be leagues out there where you could do with it. Obviously, if you're missing any of those guys we mentioned earlier, the Deweys, the Cliffords, those sort of guys, there's coverage to be had. Obviously, Lukey Met. I don't mind it. I don't love it, but I also don't mind it.
Yeah, I can get around it. Tyrell Sloan, just staying with you, has actually looked pretty much like he shouldn't go to the Super League in attack, but we've kind of known that for a while.
Oh, he'll carve them. He'll absolutely carve. I mean, if you're desperate, like as I said, fullback's not deep. So, like, I'm never like super duper keen to start Sloan, but you know, desperate times call for desperate measures, and he's been in a bit of form, so you could go there.
Simo, in the syndicate, mate, can we check on the Man of Steel price for Tyrell Sloan next year if he's going to play fullback? Because that has got to be a red-hot chance.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Jacob Little will get the start here, Todd, is what's been happening the last few weeks. So there's potentially a bit of relevance here. Could you trust Jacob Little, knowing that Dean Young's trying to size him up for the minutes that he's going to cover next year?
Yeah, interesting one with the Little and Cook situation. Little played about 60 minutes last week for about a 46. You know, if it gets up to that 65 and Cook, yeah, I reckon you can play Little this week. I don't think he's going to hurt you starting. I think he's going to give you like 45 probably is, you know, is low base area, and then anything after that you're probably pretty happy at hooker anyway. So yeah, I think you can fire up Little this week.
Yeah, I like it, mate. Don't be scared about Toby Couchman on the bench. He'll still play enough to give you a rock-solid score, hopefully in your FRF position. Over to the Dogs. Simo, it was a good shout from you earlier to mention everyone's least favourite plug-and-play option at fullback, Connor Tracy. I heard a stat of him on the weekend. He's had one try assist since like round 6, I believe, or something absolutely wild like that. Just confirming what we all know, that he's just not the answer at fullback.
Oh, he's shocking. He's absolutely shocking. Like,
he's dog water, isn't he?
Oh, I mean, I've never been a fan, obviously, but ever since, I traded him for Karaz maybe 5 weeks ago, and the ball does not get, if it does go right, which it rarely does because it's all critter and kick out on the left, but if it does go right, it's lucky to get past Galvin, first of all. And then there's a good chance he'll play short to Preston, which is fair enough.
It is.
But God forbid they ever play at the back and Connor Tracy finally touches it. Like, it just doesn't get to Kiraz in good ball ever. Just ever. And like, there's been 3-on-2s, Connor Tracy just ducks and goes himself. Like, it's not anything new, but that stat is pretty alarming for even him.
And in a game that they desperately needed to win, I was not convinced about the half combination being the second coming of Christ, and it didn't look it on the weekend. So who knows what they serve up this weekend? They may come out and brain it again. I'm not really sure. But in terms of
funny,
green lights,
mate, we've said it all year. Like, the halves, all the attention is always on the Bulldogs halves.
Yeah,
but they've looked their best when Connor Tracy wasn't at fullback.
Oh,
like those couple of weeks when Kiro's played fullback, they looked fantastic.
So much better.
Yeah. I don't know how that hasn't more light hasn't been shown on that from the media. It's so fun to just pile on the Bulldogs halves, and maybe rightfully so. But how can the Tracy just because he runs for 300 meters a game, like he just gets this walk in the park? I think it's crap.
Yeah, it's the media's obsession with the Dylan Edwards style of fullback that I've never fully understood. Dylan Edwards is obviously the best example of that style of fullback, but give me a ball-playing version each and every day of the week to go and win grand finals that, Dylan Edwards without Nathan Cleary, etc., would he look as good? I don't think so, personally, but that's me. Connor Tracy is the worst example of that player, Simo, that just does that, but way less well. So
Timu version.
The Timu version, indeed. Meso says, I think Connor Tracy has the Dan Atkinsons about him, a bit of Swiss Army knife in the backs positions. Yep. Both at the Sharks, moves into regular starting roles elsewhere, and they look lost. I agree with you, mate. I think Atkinson still has a chance at 6, personally. I think when you don't have Cole Flanagan beside you, you're a chance to actually look decent. So I'm not completely out on Atkinson as a 6, but a bit of a way to come back to relevance. Over to the Dogs then. So, Tracy, plug and play. I just don't want to do it, and I don't even care if he scores 70 versus whatever option you went for. I'm not having it. Kiraz, you'll start. Matty Burton, Todzer, given the 5/8 eligibility is a bit weird, this is probably one of the rare weeks where you could probably say there's a good floor argument, plus the odds of him crossing for a try. I think it's pretty decent here.
Yeah, I can fire at Burton this week, mate.
Tuala every week starter, mate, of course. Bronson Jerry, we're not about it, are we? I know the matchup's good, but I can't do it.
No.
Anyone? No good?
No good.
Bailey Hayward, flirting owners again with another high minute, good base score of 50, only to potentially risk scoring 25 the week after. Just don't do it. I've looked at him about 75,000 times. He's a shitter. Salmon back to scoring sub-40s where we know and love him. Is Kurt Mann about? Yeah, he is. Once Kurt Mann came back, that was the end of the Jamin Salmon experiment. All right, let's run on down. The Sunday games start with the Titans v Sharks. You feel like this matchup will decide many a prelim final. I like your call, Simo. Now that I've seen his name in lights against this Titan team that includes Lockie Ilias, who saved his best pass in an NRL jersey when there was an obstruction. It was a gorgeous pass, only because fake space had been created, and that's it. Then proceeded to throw the ball behind his teammates for a good 75 minutes. Wow.
Is that not the junkiest of junk time 100-point SuperCoach scores you've ever seen?
It's kind of ridiculous.
I swear there was about 3 minutes of play right at the end where he just did.
Ridiculous.
Like the Titans finally just scored 2 late tries and he was in everything. Crazy.
If you went to SuperCoach points, we'd be saying, yeah, you beauty, fire him up as an option this week. Like, he was absolute garbage again. But anyway, is what it is.
Yeah.
So, I'll be honest, gentlemen, when I look at this game, I'm a little unsure with obviously the Trindle out is significant. Whichever way you slice it, it does take a bit of the upper end SuperCoach scoring out of the whole team. Like, I don't know if everyone eats here. Call me crazy. So, for that reason, I think Hiroti is a very tough start this week because he hasn't been that great. I think we've all said on this potty for years that he's actually, if he was named on a wing, Todd's, I'm all over it. I'd sign me right the hell up. When he plays centers, mate, I just don't think it's a guarantee.
No, not a guarantee. I think he's been all right, though. I would still fire him up this week against the Titans.
Yeah.
We've seen he's been a SuperCoach gem every time for the last 3 years. Like
on the wing, though, not center.
We're up against the Titans, though.
Yeah, Simo, is he against JoJo?
No.
Okay, I'm suddenly back on board. AJ Brimson doing this for 80 minutes, maybe. Okay.
Yeah.
You're starting the rest.
The Brimson, Sami. We talk about that Titans. You want to play guys on the right-hand side against the Titans. We've said it all year, so.
You absolutely do.
If you just go off the map. If your name's what, sorry? Dom Young.
Dom Young, who somehow didn't have to be
what the hell was that all about?
That doesn't even make sense. It was crazy, but yeah.
Well, it wasn't. I guess Gagai was taking all the tries, wasn't he?
That is true. That is true. Okay, so Kinney, you'll fire up because you have to. Jojo, quickly. Simo, yes, no?
Nah, not anymore. He's
No good.
He was about 6 weeks ago.
Yep. Jaden, you're starting. Pasco, you're starting. Aramaho, don't do it to yourself in a final, gentlemen, right? We just can't. We cannot.
Avoid.
Well, Paxton's HIA, so will they spell him
Yeah,
with someone else? I don't know.
I looked at the bench, mate. I couldn't find there is a strong 80-minute argument here for Arama if you look at that bench, but I'm just that's such a risky FRF 2 maybe.
Avoid.
Maybe.
That's ballsy. That's very ballsy.
Mate, there screams Chris Randall on the edge. I can feel it, mate. I've
He
already done it this year, bro. I'm telling you. Chris Randall doing edge.
Chrissy Randall did not have his best game on the weekend, Tods, I dare say. It was a rough watch.
When did he ever? He just tackles heaps.
Yeah, no, he didn't do that too well either.
That's proven to be a trade for you guys, hasn't it, Redford? Old Marju and Randall.
Yeah.
That's the one we look back on very fondly, mate. Yes, exactly. And because opposing teams have stopped bombing Greggy for some reason, which we just don't tell anyone that's something you can definitely do. But yes, good point. Thank you, mate. That made me feel good. In terms of Sharks,
Dom Young's a good enough target.
he goes all right, to be fair. Mate, you're going to own all these Sharks. There's really nothing going on there. And we'll go on to the last game of the round, and this is Roosters Extravaganza. Fire up Billy Smith. Hugo Savala is absolutely the halfback start you'd love to have this week, gentlemen. That is not the difficult advice to give someone. Floor and ceiling argument is very strong. So if he's somehow out there, boom, fire him up. Oh, boy. Robert Toyer in this matchup, gentlemen. There's a sneaky for a double and a big score, you would think. Marky Mark as well. They're going to feast. And Billy Smith, Tozza, pretty important we bring him up because people would have him often as part of a platoon, like not a guaranteed starter. You'd start him over a lot of more fancy players this week, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I think I would, yeah.
Like, I'd be going way up the chain. Here's one that's going to sound crazy out loud, but I'm going to go there. Casey McLean versus Billy Smith.
I played Billy Smith in this.
Billy Smith, yeah, that's the line, isn't it? That's how high up he goes. Yep, I agree.
Pretty crazy, actually, because I probably would play Billy Smith, yeah.
Gotcha, mate. I finally found one that was a good comparison and a line. It's hard with you. You're hard.
I'm finding a way to start both of them, mate. That's what I'm doing.
Like,
I was going to say, Redford, you hovered on the 9 spot there. I'm so glad you've just moved down to number 10 because I was looking at this Roosters team going, you know, this is one of those rare occasions where it's start all Roosters. Then I was like, oh, who is it? Is it Spencer or is it Lindsay Collins? Because that'll be the one spot where you don't start them.
Agreed, mate. Agreed.
Start all Roosters, X, number 10.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't start Victor either at 13, but is he a chance of a sneaky try up the middle as well? Probably. But boy, how is he staying on the pitch, Simo? What is he doing?
Oh. Like, the funny week, was it 2 weeks ago where he smashed Tuala? He smashed Tuala.
Yeah.
And then last week head hide someone.
Yeah.
It's like
and it was an old-fashioned coat hanger. Like he did the full arm stick out. And then he always just looks like so surprised. It's like, what are you doing? Oh,
yeah. It's honestly, he has that look about him when he gets pinged. Like, it's almost like he was an addict that just got caught with a bag in his pocket. Like,
he's been caught with a bag in his pocket also.
Like something he's probably not. He's not accustomed to. He's no stranger to it, old Victor.
Oh, good.
Oh, shit.
Gentlemen, it would be remiss not to mention, Simo, as a Roosters fan, I didn't get much of a chance to talk to you on the weekend. Can you tell me who was playing number 6 for the Roosters on the weekend and why did he look like prime DCE?
Well, there's your man of steel, bro, next year. Holy, he can put up.
What the hell was that?
Prices.
He was awesome.
Well, yeah, Jack Cogger made him look that way.
That step, he actually was Cogger. He beat a couple of times, but that step to score under the post, mate, he hasn't done that for 3 seasons, to be fair.
Yeah. I got no words to describe it. Really, it was pretty shit from the Panthers.
That try where he scored on the right, and Cogger just stayed off him.
Yeah.
How should a defender do you have to be for a 38-year-old Daly Cherry Evans to stand you up that long? Holy shit! Make a tackle! What the?
And do you know? Fonza, in that analysis, which was spot on, do you know whose stock has diminished somehow worse is Blaze Talungi, because Cogger's still been picked over him. What does that say about confidence in Blaze? Seriously.
Blaze came on and played well in the centres, though, I thought.
Yeah, just not trusted. All right, so can you start DCE here? 5'8" against the Tigers after what he showed last week. You want to talk again about the ballsy starts? Poor, but, I mean, the upside's there.
There's no fucking chance. There's no chance you're starting him.
You can't risk it, can you?
Oh, I know I said start all Roosters, but I mean, if you've owned Cherry Evans all year,
yeah.
I mean, if you've owned him all year, you wouldn't have. You probably don't still own him now. So, I mean, if you do start him, you've got bigger balls than I do. There's no way I'm doing it.
Him versus Nicarima. Still Nicarima easy.
By the country.
I don't know if you know how bad Nicarima's been over the last 2 weeks. He has been awful.
I know. Yeah, Katoa's back now. We were waxing lyrical about Cody Nicarima before Katoa got injured. Now he's back.
True. He just had that one bad week when Katoa first came in, which actually was a bit scary. But lock it in. Start DC or Owen Paddy. Owen Paddy, sir. The kid is a gun. I love it. Tigers. Who is brave to start a Tiger? You can start Appy. There's one. You can start Terrell May.
Yep.
And Twile's back.
Yep.
What about Terrell Skelton? He's there.
Boy, has he let us down thinking that he'd be still good. He's not been good. Sakuru scored 90-odd on the weekend. I can't do it. Not against the Roosters. This is get away. That's it, really? Nothing else?
Nothing else.
Who'd they drop? Go. Who is out? Taruba.
Taruba's injured.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Taruba's very good. And Macassini's 4 tries in the New South Wales Cup. Not enough to bring him back. Absolutely brained them. 15 runs, 160, 4 tries. Doesn't come in. Rough. Yeah, Stanger. I've got a Todza. You won't get bigger Samuela Fainu fans than us, mate. We are big.
No.
1.2 mil per season apparently leaked out to the media. What is he smoking, old son? That is ridiculous.
That's what he wants.
Yeah, that's what he's. It official leak, no denial. This is apparently what he thinks he should be paid. His next deal.
Crazy work. Big fan of Samuel, and I know he's a big fan of the show, but 1.1, mate. 1.2 is bloody PNG money. Holy dooly.
I actually suspect that anytime you see something like that now, he's putting his hand up and saying, PNG, pick me. I'm very happy to be a marquee. Yeah, that's wild. All right, that gets through the matchups, gentlemen. So just let me get that off the screen. A couple of questions here. Lock-it-in's been keen in following our League of Record comp all season. So just a quick wrap-up. Simo and I had a qualifying final in our league last week, and I was lucky enough to get the chocolates. Simo had an unfortunate run with Walsh, and yeah, as you said, Hines didn't have a big week. I scored pretty well, not amazingly, but got through. So I'm through to the GF after finishing minor Prem. Kind of skated in Stephen Bradbury style in the end, but it is what it is. Todza got knocked out, I think 6, Todza. You finished in the end, mate?
Yeah, mate. Thanks for bringing that up. 6, yep.
Just missed the finals. So Simo is now in an elimination prelim against a gentleman who has never featured in a grand final. So Simo, I know who the rest of the league are keen on to win the whole thing. It's not you and I, but can we maintain?
Nor should they be, to be honest. Yeah.
All right.
He's got a good team and he deserves to be here.
Agreed. Absolutely agreed. Shout out Shout out to the Mac Daddies having a bloody good season. Does have the very interesting turbo decision against you, Simo. So a bit easier in our league because we have the flex. So it's an easier run this week. But all right, Meso. Twile coming out of the team, mystery injured before the 4 p.m. game with no notice. I'm sure screwed over a few managers. Holy shit! Would it have? Sometimes the bird in the hand early in the round counts. I agree. With Twile then sitting there in the last game of the round again, boys, I think it's worth saying, have a plan, listeners, like something, anything before it. Once, like, make some trades during the round. So, yeah, that's a tough one. And I'll just quickly jump through, lock it in. Simo, we're both relying on Hines bounce make. It's been tough. Lost Walsh too. And Payne lads, good luck.
Oh, lock it in, the old Walsh Hines combo. It's done us both, mate.
Done us in. Stanger says, what's recap of high waivers this week? Tuapiki, Fiketti, Nicholson. I think that order was presented there is pretty good. With a sneaky, decent shout of Hugo Savala. If you need a win this week in either half position, I think he's a red-hot pickup this week, gentlemen.
Yeah, I agree.
Redford was pretty keen on DCE as well. Just chuck him to the top of the list.
I think he's a dart throw and a half. It's really funny. There's heaps of dart throw 5/8s this week, and I will throw Cody in that range as well with his shit-house floor. But, yeah, some good options, though, if you need a 5/8 this round, I think. Beautiful. All right. That, Simo, nothing from X, I believe you said this week, good sir?
Nope. That'll happen when I don't put the post up. So, sorry, boys, and everyone out there.
All send from Simo. Todd Young.
Yes, mate. A couple from the book of face, old son. I got the post up. There we go. We got from Hayden Roberts in Auckland. Kia ora, Hayden. Who would you start in each of the following positions in the grand final this week? At hooker, he's got the choice of Pascal or Coruscant.
Does Coruscant lose the kicking to Jock Madden, Simo? Is my concern with that part.
Did Coruscant kick last week?
He's had some goal kicking in there. I think Madden may have had the only goal kick. So I think maybe it is. That would be the decider. Pascal against the Sharks, far out. I'm probably still on the Coro, one of those two, mate.
We go Coruscant. Coruscant's safer.
Yes, Pasco could tackle poorly against the Shark and get hooked after like no time.
Yeah, Coruscant's safer. Pasco's got a bigger upside, but I don't think
Coruscant did not kick last week at all.
No, I don't think. I think Madden had the only kick.
Oh, okay. Did Madden? He see the field last week?
I thought he did. I could be wrong. Maybe I've misread that, but
I'll check. Give me 1 second.
Maybe not.
No, Adam Dewey kicked in the 77th minute, so
it was Dewey. Okay, sorry, man. My apologies. So there is half a chance you get the redraw there. The Coro could goal kick with Dewey out. In that case, you would definitely want the Coro side of things.
Yeah.
3 Coros all round. 5-8. Redford mate DCE or Ronald Volkman.
Next question. Jesus. DCE. I'm just getting
make him say it. There it is.
There's my line. DCE or Volkman. And I've not been anti-Volkman all year, but I'll go DCE.
Simo?
Not DCE.
Volkman. Fullback. He's got Dufty, Tuapiki, or risk on Tommy Turbo's hamstrings.
Jesus.
Who was the first one?
Dufty.
Dufty too.
Oh, Dufty.
Dufty.
It's almost impossible to set Dufty right now, right? Even though it's a tougher matchup.
Dufty versus the Waz.
It's not a great matchup, but you're going up. So it's hard to sit someone who has that upside, right, Simo?
Said my answer.
I'm with you. Yeah, I'm not changing. I think his floor is good enough too.
All right, we already had one from Dom in the chat. I think he was a Munster versus Strange this week and maybe next week. Obviously, next week Strange has no game, so
Munster versus
Strange this week.
Strange
for me.
Yeah. Yep.
3 strangers. Last question of the night, I believe. Val Holmes versus Casey McLean this week and next week.
Probably Val against the Dogs, who could be crap again. Casey
then
McLean against.
And then they have Manly the week after.
I'd probably Val over the 2 weeks, to be honest. That's really close.
I am
Casey McLean for me.
Every day of the week. Yeah.
I think Storm may step up this week and make it a tighter game. So I'll go Val this week for me.
Alrighty. Last one from Ace FK Patrick. What are these guys' biggest threat to lowest, considering who they're versing this week? Lecker, Aitken, Fiketti, and Nicholson. I assume it's just picking up ladies, right? Threat lowest, considering.
I think we're all on the Fiketti train here, aren't we?
Yeah, Fiketti's the biggest threat.
Yeah.
Nicholson's good for this week too. So
good
one of
block
those
for this
two.
week, for sure. Yeah, good shout.
Sounds good, boys. That's all we've got from the Book of Face.
That's quality. Lock it in. DCE or Dan Atkinson at 5'8" if you had to play one. If I miss Paddy on waiver. Geez, that's a big drop-off. Really quick round out. Todzer, I'll let you have the casting vote here, mate. DCE or Dan Atkinson at 5'8" if you had to play one.
DCE if I have to play one.
Yeah, fair play. All right, gentlemen. Blast will be back this week. Quality content delivered. The Todd Mound, thank you for bringing sexy back, old son.
Thank you, mate. Appreciate it. Good luck to all the listeners in the semi-finals and finals this weekend. Let me know how it feels.
Absolutely. Good shout, mate. And if you could go adjust that Herbie poster for us, mate, just before we wrap up, that would be he's got his tassel out, folks. Got his tassel. Simo, wearing pants appropriately for the stream, mate. Always appreciate it.
Tony's known for that. Yeah, get that.
We got to see his fillet before, mate. It was quality. Got a little excited for his stream, to be fair.
Yeah. The comedy's been coming along well, and so's the training. Well, looks Todd man.
Thank you, mate. Yeah,
looking good.
Thank you,
Simo. Thank you, mate. Quality.
Always a pleasure, mate. Good luck. Yeah, same as Toddy said. Well, if you're still listening, everyone out there, good luck this week and rip into them.
Mason wants to see your hands, Todd. I rate that. Thanks, gents. Good luck in the finals for all left standing. And where's
your hands, Toddy?
Give us a listen at the start, mate. We actually covered the Listener League at the beginning of the ep. The lads having whiffed last week in my absence, but we're back in form, and it's always a pleasure. And as always, listeners, get that booty in you. Oh,